Happy Friday morning. It is April 12th. I'm Kimberly Pro, and welcome to Wasatch Weekends. On today's show, we are honoring the arts and entertainment with our Friday morning conversation with Park City Film. Katie Wang tells us all about the weekend happenings and the fun things they have planned for the summer. Plus, I had a conversation earlier this week with the Miners Film Festival with the seniors of Park City High School and all that they're doing to put on their own version of Sundance, which is very exciting. And then, as always, we love all of the creative artists that are here in our community, so we can't wait to show you and highlight some of the work that they have here in town. Before we get started, though, I know you want to check out the weather for this weekend, so let's take a look. It's Friday, and you know what time it is. It is time for our weekend chat with Katie Wang of Park City Film. Katie, thanks for joining us. How are you this morning?
I'm well, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Wonderful to have you here. So talk to me about what is happening this weekend. We're coming up at the end of ski season, which means you guys are ramping up to do a lot of great films, but you have some incredible ones this weekend as well.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're heading into spring break if you're have kids in the school district here in Park City. So before we head off to Florida or Hawaii or Mexico or wherever folks go on spring break, we've got two great films this weekend, and actually kind of similarly, somewhat intertwined in their storylines, but of course a little bit different. So the feature film this weekend is called Problemista, and it's Julian Torres's directorial debut, and it's kind of a twist on the American dream, a little bit surreal. A little bit like being John Malkovich in some ways, but also very funny. Tilda Swinton's in it as well as Reza. But it's about an aspiring toy designer from El Salvador, played by Julian Torres, the director, who takes on a job assisting an erratic art world art cast so he can stay in the country and realize his dream. So he's kind of, as you know, you have to have a job to keep your visa active and kind of jump through all of these hoops. So it's very interesting kind of how they portray that side of the story. But it's delightful, as I said, slightly surreal storytelling, but definitely will capture your imagination and is exciting to be able to have a directorial debut of, and someone that we will see much more work from in the future for sure.
I love that. I mean, it sounds like it's imaginative and also very relevant to conversation that is happening today. So that's a lot of fun. I love it. And what else
Yeah,
is
so that'll
happening?
be
Oh, go ahead.
Well, that'll be Friday and Saturday at
Okay.
7, and then again Sunday at 6. We want to thank Julie Hopkins, Keller Williams Real Estate. She's underwriting the film this weekend. Great supporter of the arts, which of course we appreciate in our small town here. And then on Saturday afternoon, we have a matinee screening, which we do once a month in partnership with Park City Library. And we alternate between our Family Film Fest series and Cine en Español, which is a new series for us. Of course, these are films that focus on Spanish language culture and communities. And the film this weekend, called Radical, won the Film Festival Favorite Award at the Sundance Film Festival in 2023. Sorry, that's a very alliterative phrase there. That's somewhat of a mouthful. But it's Eugenio Derbez, who is a fantastic actor, and he portrays, it's a true story actually, a teacher who is in a school on the US-Mexico border that is just failing. The kids are uninspired, nothing is happening, the future is quite bleak. There's a lot of crime in the area that he's in. And so he kind of turns things upside down and says, what if we just reimagine how this all works and tap into that great potential that you have, right? That all of us have embedded into us. So it's a very inspirational, it is based on a true story. He's, Eugenio Derbez is a fantastic actor, but it will be in Spanish with English subtitles. titles. We've had a great response to the film so far. People loved it at Sundance, as I said, in 23. So it's a joy to be able to bring it back. And that'll be a free screening on Saturday at 4, and free popcorn. So a little more of an incentive to come on in, see a great story, have a nice little snack, and celebrate just what some people are doing. You always find these great stories of people doing amazing things, kind of, surmounting seemingly impossible odds. And this is definitely one of those stories.
That sounds incredible, and that one is free to the public. So
Yes.
I love that.
Yep.
That's a great offering. So you've got your normal programming, plus I love that you do extra films as well that really kind of bring the community together. So go ahead.
Sorry, and that's really thanks to the support we receive from the community, right?
Yeah.
It's us giving back to the community because the community gives us so much. So we get funding from Summit County RAP tax. We also get funding from the Utah Division of Arts and Museums and the Utah Legislature. And we use those funds. These are all, taxpayer funds, basically, generated from tax revenue, sales tax, and what have you. And then to bring it back into the community. I mean, that's really the joy of kind of that circular economy of how do we use what we get to bring in people to see films that then we can get more funding for, and we can do more films. And it's fantastic. So if you like what we do, I would say, vote with your feet, sit down in a seat, and let's do more great things.
I love that. I think it's great that you mentioned it is funded by some of the taxpayer dollars, and it's nice to know exactly where it's going, and it's helping to really bridge community and foster the arts. So I love that. I love that you brought that point up. Now, what is happening as we are moving into shoulder season in the summer? Do we have anything exciting coming up or planned?
We do. Actually, I'm so excited. I just booked something today, this morning, so that was exciting. But we are doing a Studio Ghibli Film Fest. So if you're familiar with Hayao Miyazaki, he is the auteur of anime. Boy and the Heron just came out end of last year. Spirited Away won an Academy Award, but Studio Ghibli is a studio that he created in Japan. And so we're doing a whole series of films, 7 films that really span the arc of his career over the course of the summer. And so just a fantastic introduction to the art of anime, to the art of storytelling, Miyazaki's, kind of his career and really what he's done for the genre of anime. And we'll have some special guests. I just booked a professor from Tufts University who's an expert in Miyazaki. We have some speakers from the University of Utah. So it's going to be a fantastic film festival this summer. And then we're also doing pop-up film screenings around Summit County. So we're booking films in Hennifer and Colville and Hoytsville and Camas. We have a pop-up LED screen. We're looking at doing some things in the city center this year, which will be fun. But so lots going on. In the summertime, it's our time to kind of play a little bit with different films, different genres, different places in the community that we can go and reach folks. And it's always fun to be outside because summers are so beautiful here. And with the LED screen, you can start at a reasonable hour and not be freezing to death at 10 o'clock. So it's fun that we have that technology available to us now. It's kind of one of the blessings, the silver linings of COVID was finding these great partnerships that enabled us to just, really expand our programming and our impact in the community.
It's such a fun and unique way to view films in the summertime. So that's great. I cannot wait to see more detail and updates around the summer programming. But this weekend also sounds like a great time as well. So where can we go one more time to buy tickets to find out more information?
Sure. So parkcityfilm.org, you can get your tickets in advance online. Also, we open our box office an hour before showtime. We are taking free registration for Radical. So if you do want to register in advance, great. But again, if you just change your plans or have a spontaneous moment of like, hey, it's almost 4 o'clock. We're near Park City Library, near Park City Film. Let's go head on over and see a great movie together. Please come on over. We've got plenty of seats, over 400 in our theater, lots of popcorn. We will not run out for you. But we'd love to have you enjoy these great films with us. And yeah, have a great night at the movies.
Excellent. Well, Katie, have fun this weekend. Thank you so much for sharing the latest and greatest updates. And we look forward to finding out more.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend.
You too. Now stay tuned. We'll be back with more on our show right after this. I just love how Park City has so many incredible talent, especially when it comes to film and arts and entertainment, especially those up and coming. I had a conversation with 4 Park City High School seniors about the Miners Film Festival, all that they're doing and how you can be involved. Let's take a look. Now, welcome back to the show. I am passionate about all things entertainment and film. Joining me today are some of the seniors from Park City High School to talk about the Miner Film Festival. I've got Zach, Chase, Nash, and Carson. How are you?
Real good.
So good to see you guys. So congratulations, seniors. This is an exciting time for you. You know, you've got a few more months left in high school, but it sounds like you're doing some big things. So Carson, tell us about the Miners Film Festival.
So the Minor Film Festival is a chance for high schoolers to showcase our, I'd say, like film interest. It's a way for the high schoolers to submit films, let them be shown at like a massive showing where we have a bunch of high schoolers come together and watch. It's pretty much a way for residents to enjoy, I guess, Sundance as residents.
That's a great way to put it. You know, Sundance is an awesome time, but it's nice to have it a little bit more localized. So Nash, tell me about the festival. You know, what kind of films are showing? How long does it last?
So people show all sorts of films, anything that their heart desires. Last year we had a few scary movies. We had a lot of comedies, of course. How long would you guys say it usually runs? About
like
2 hours?
Yeah, 3 hours.
It really all depends on what kind of films we get, but yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So let's see. So Carson, you mentioned it depends on what kind of films you get. So how do you curate these films and where do they come from?
So it's essentially, as I said earlier, like Sundance. Students submit their own films, and right before the fest, it's about a week or two beforehand. Students submit their final copy, and then it goes through a process of elimination with teachers and essentially like a
Our
panel.
film club, our film club will go through and watch all of the films that were submitted. And then so there's one round where it's like the rough edits, and then there's another round where it's the judging edits. So that gets sent to a bunch of like film industry leaders throughout Park City who get to watch some of the student films and choose them for award consideration. And then through that process, like films are vetted or like we can make edits to them and something like that before they're finally submitted.
That's great. So Zach, you said students have to submit them. So are these original works that are done by students, or is it like other films? Tell me more.
So we're focused primarily on students at the school. You don't even have to necessarily be part of the film program or take any of the film classes, but anyone is open to submitting a movie and having it go to consideration. A lot of the times it will be produced by us or other members of the film program or film club, but it's still open, and that means people submit and then we go through the different rounds of judging, and that's how they get sort of put up on the screen in the Yackles.
That's so great. Now, Chase, I want to know, how did you get involved in film, and what is your passion behind this?
Well, I was making movies like on my iPad ever since I was like 6 years old and just editing it on like iMovie or whatever. And then when I went to the high school, I joined the film class with Mr. Fish, best teacher in the school. And I started making little superhero movies with my friends. And then after that, I really got like inspired to keep going. Right now, I'm making a cop movie with this guy, a buddy cop movie. So Mediators 2, it's coming.
Mediators too. I'm keeping my eye out. I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little bit more. Nash, tell me, what do you like about this? So you're doing some editing, you're, reviewing films. What is your passion?
For me personally, I really love the acting side of it. I like being in the movies, and I'm not as creative as these other guys, so I like saying the stuff that they write because they're pretty funny. That's just my main draw. I of course love editing and all that other stuff. That's just the acting is really what got me.
That's awesome. My brother is an actor as well, so I totally understand that. He loves taking other people's words and turning it into a physical manifestation of the story. So Carson, tell me a little bit about you. What's your background? How did you decide to be part of this?
So I kind of have interesting story. I started off a long time ago with my close friends before I moved to Park City with a YouTube channel, and we had like a podcast essentially. And I did all the editing and all the video production into that. And that just kind of, with COVID and such, where I lived, it was really impactful. So we took that as a chance to, experience what we can do online. And then I started making things by myself, which then led me to moving to Utah. And then from there, I pretty much just joined this class, and I've gotten into film ever since. I do a lot of videos for the sports teams. I edit. I don't write scripts as much, but when I do, I really enjoy doing it. Yeah, I'm more of the technical part. I also have a lot of close friends and family who are very involved in the like Hollywood community. So it really just inspired me to continue doing what I do now.
Awesome. So Miners Film Festival. Now, how can local businesses help and be a part of it?
We're actually reaching out to a lot of sponsors from local businesses, and we also want to seek out more of those sponsorships. We've reached out to a few companies in the area, and like they're willing to help give us donations or give us sponsorship materials that we can use. But we're obviously still looking for more. A lot of the times, if local businesses want to, if they're interested, they can email either of us, and we can supply those emails
Awesome.
about sponsorship options, and then they can have their logo displayed, or like we can even make an ad for them, which is one of the options for their business.
That's great. And that's a film ad or whatever ad that they're interested in. So I love that. So Zach, tell us, what emails can we go to get involved?
So if you can email me, which is zminter, which is MINTER 24 at pcstudents.us. Or you can email our film advisor, Mr. Fish, who's like running everything. And his is KFISH at pcschools.us.
Awesome. Now, gentlemen, when does it start? When does it run? Do you have to buy tickets? Can you view online? Tell us all of the details so that we can make sure our viewers are giving you the support that you deserve.
So at the moment, the day is, we're in confliction with the actual day due to some scheduling conflicts, but
Right
it's
now,
going to be either May 10th.
yeah, I think we decided on May 10th for right now. If those dates need to switch, we'll probably be letting people know, but we've allocated that time for use of the auditorium. It's May 10th at 7 p.m. Anybody in the community is invited. We don't really need to buy any tickets or anything. We just invite people to come by and drop in. We do like the event and the showing inside of the Eccles itself, where we have the movies, but also like an awards ceremony. And then we also have like little activities like outside in like this space where we have like little photo opportunities and things like that. So
Things like a silent raffle as well. And
some of the donations.
really just anything that we can do to help the film program grow as a whole.
Awesome. Well, I love your involvement. It's so fun to hear you guys talking about just the festival and your excitement behind your craft. So best of luck to you. I hope you have lots of turnout and lots of sponsorship. We're looking at an anticipated date of May 10th for the Miners Film Festival. So congratulations and good luck with everything, especially in your senior year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Now stay tuned. We'll be back with more on our show right after this quick break. Walking up and down Main Street, you see so many incredible galleries and artists, and we love to highlight and showcase all of the work. So let's take a look at one of the artists right now.
I'm Taylor Smith. I have a studio in Indianapolis, Indiana, and this is my work. I suppose I became interested in art when I was very little. My mother was an artist. She still paints a little bit, but I think just having an artist in the family was kind of inspirational. When I was younger, I thought I would get into writing and writing books and novels, but visual arts just kind of appealed to me more. Right after I graduated from university, I moved to Europe and I went to art school in Berlin. So I lived and worked there for about 8 years. Did a lot of snow skiing at the time, which was really fun. And then when I came back in the 90s, I was introduced to Park City, and that was my first time here. And I lived here part-time about 13 to 10 years ago. This one specific series, I take vintage computer floppy disks, which I have collected over the years. I have thousands of them. And I will create a panel that I epoxy the disks to, and it becomes a painting surface. And it's very interesting because all of the original software programs and data is still on the disks. So it kind of becomes this multi-dimensional piece of art. It's almost sculptural in a way. The vintage information and data that's on these disks just kind of becomes part of the art. Technology and visual art combined. I actually had a box of maybe 20 of my own from the 90s. And I came across them in a box that I had, and I thought, oh, these are too cool to throw out. But I knew they weren't recyclable, and that's another good thing. Keep these out of the waste stream because they can't be recycled. But I started laying them out on a table. They're very colorful and almost like a puzzle. You could move the discs around and change the look of what your composition is. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to make paintings out of these because they're flat and they're perfect. And I quickly realized that I needed thousands more discs. So I source them now from computer recycling companies and individuals who know about my work. They send discs to me to be used in art sometimes too. I began more as an abstract artist, completely abstract. And over the last 15 years, I would say I've become more and more figurative. But I do have some series where I paint on paper and canvas and wood panel. Without the floppy disks. I kind of mix a lot of the pop art that I grew up with, that I'm influenced by, some of the fashion logos that you see everywhere now, kind of nostalgia blended with today's culture. Some of the iconic images that I choose for the work are based on what I was exposed to when I was growing up. My parents were very astute art collectors in the 60s and 70s, and I recall seeing them go to many shows of the 60s pop artists. That's kind of a big influence. And I choose some of the images because of what I'm familiar with, and also some of them that I'm inspired by Park City itself and the surrounding mountains and snow. For instance, this series of love paintings, I've kind of made them a little more specific to Park City because I have a love of snow and skiing, and I create a lot of pieces with the love, and then there's different interpretations that people have of love. Some people have anxiety, insecurity, and some of these comic book type of phrases in them reflect that. And then some people simply have a love of skiing or snowboarding, and I've tried to incorporate that too. It's a little humorous and specific to the area, I think. I met Colby through another artist who shows here at one of Colby's galleries, and he introduced them to my work. Colby and Kelly sent me an email and said that they really thought the floppy disk paintings were interesting and would do well here. I sent, I think, 6 paintings out just after Christmas a year ago, and almost immediately all of them were sold, and I just have honestly been painting overtime to keep up. They do really well with these paintings here. I would say my goal is to just keep coming up with new ideas and creating pieces of art that people enjoy hanging in their homes. Well, I hope you will come down to Pando Gallery and check out my work. It's here all year long, and I'll try and be here as often as I can.
I cannot wait to check out Miners Film Festival, plus Katie Wang and Park City Film. So much happening in the film community here in town. Plus, we love our artists. So make sure that you get out and support local talent, local community. I'm Kimberly Pro. Thanks for joining on this Friday morning edition of Wasatch Weekends.